Hey champion guitar players, in this video you'll learn 5 super cool Lydian guitar licks that you can use right away. Now these 5 Lydian licks are ones you should know, plus they'll add a great deal of variety to your lead guitar playing and phrasing. So grab your guitar, let's get started. Alright, so check out this example. It combines a Hirajoshi Japanese pentatonic scale with Lydian. So it ends up being like a Lydian pentatonic scale. I'll play it for you and then we'll break it down and we'll talk about it. So here's what it sounds like. Play one more time. Okay, so what we have here is a Hirajoshi pentatonic scale that we're going to apply to the Lydian mode. So it's basically going to be a Lydian pentatonic scale by the time we're done. Okay, so first, before I show you the tablature on the screen, I will in just a moment, let me just show you what the fingering is, the basic fingering for this scale position, and then we'll get into how do you play it with the slides and everything else. Okay, so the basic fingering is this. On the first 2 strings, we'll play frets 17 and 13. Then on string 3, play frets 16 and 14. On the next 2 strings, 15 and 14. Okay, so it's again 17, 13, 17, 13, 16, 14, 15, 14, 15, 14. All right, now what we're going to do is on the top of every string, the top note of every string, we're going to do a backslide. Okay, so let me show you what this is. So I'm starting on fret 17. You should see the tab on the screen now. Fret 17, slide up to 19, and then right back to 17. Then the 13th fret. Then we go to the 2nd string. And now we do a backslide from 17 to 18. So all together it's... Okay, one more time, a little slower. Then on the 3rd string, so we're going to backslide from 16 to 17. Then on the next string, it's 15, 14, 15. Now we're going to do a big slide here from 15 to 19. And right back to 15. Then we get to the 5th string. And we just play the scale straight up. All right, let's hear this along with the backing track in F Lydian. So it sounds really cool in context. So again, the scale comes from the Hirajoshi Japanese pentatonic scales, but you can apply it over Lydian, and now you've got a cool Lydian mode pentatonic scale with some cool backslides, a nice little scale sequence. It's not real fast, although you could play it much faster if you wanted to, but it's kind of a medium tempo. It sounds really cool and pretty exotic. All right, in this next example, we're going to take a simple F major arpeggio. It's pretty straightforward, F major, but then we're going to add the sharp 11th note of the F Lydian scale or F Lydian mode. So the sharp 11 or the sharp 4 and 11 are the same thing here, is the B note, the 19th fret. So first, let's start with the arpeggio, F major arpeggio. That's what we have so far. And now the last note is the 19th fret. Has that kind of floating, dreamy, kind of mysterious Lydian sound to it. That note, the B note, the sharp 11, is what gives the Lydian mode its cool, floating, dreamy sound. Okay, so all together, it's like this. Let's do that again. You can play it faster or slower. I'll play it slower in this case. All right, before we get into the rest of the Lydian guitar licks, I do have another video on YouTube called 5 Awesome Lydian Guitar Licks You Should Know. You might want to check that one out after this video if you want more cool licks to use over the Lydian mode. All right, now let's continue using the F major arpeggio with our sharp 4 or sharp 11 note that gives it the Lydian sound, its cool feel to it. But then we're going to jump up from the B note, the note on the 19th fret, all the way up to the 24th fret, that high E. Now, the E note is the major 7th of the F major chord, okay, or 7th of the F Lydian scale or mode. Okay, and it's going to sound very dramatic to go from the B note, the sharp 11, to the major 7th, the 24th fret. That interval there, that distance, is going to sound really cool in this context over the F major chord, because you're going from sharp 11 to the major 7th, and those two notes in combination really give Lydian its flavor. Okay, so here's what it sounds like when you put it all together. Pretty dramatic, right? So check it out again. So just to let you know, I'm using my ring finger for both the 19th fret and the 24th fret. Now, I'm not really sliding. When I get to here, I'm just shifting. In other words, I'm using the same finger, but it's not really a slide. I mean, I am keeping the pressure down, but you really hear just a direct move from the 19th fret to the 24th fret. All right, let's hear a couple of these arpeggios in context over the F chord. All right, so as you hear, it's really cool. That has that awesome Lydian flavor to it, that dreamy, floaty sound. It's so cool. It's so useful to be able to play these arpeggios over this Lydian mode. You can use this anywhere. All right, so now let's hear this next example where we've got a series of bends that go up the scale through parts of the Lydian mode. So check this out over our F Lydian backing track. It sounds really cool. It's a lot of fun as well. All right, so as you hear, what we're doing here is I'm sliding into each bend. You don't have to. Sounds cool without the slide too. But if you want to do the slide, it's cool. So bending E to sound like F. Then we're going to bend the 9th fret. So that's G sharp to sound like A. Then the 12th fret, B to sound like C. Then the 17th fret. So those are all half steps so far, half step bends. And now when we get to the 20th fret, it's going to be a full step. Then the 24th fret, half step. You add vibrato there on the end. Now, if you don't have 24 frets on your guitar, no problem at all. You can play the note here, the high B. You can move over to the first string and play it at the 19th fret and bend that up a half step on the first string, and that will give you the same basic sound. All right, so now let's hear our next example here. This is 32nd note, so it's a bit faster, kind of shreddy, but it's really cool here over the F Lydian track. All right, so there you hear it. The sequence is fairly simple, actually. It sounds harder than it is, but basically it's just this. If you want to learn how to make any lick that you know sound even better, I'll show you how in my new free ebook titled The Secret to Adding Fire and Emotion to Any Guitar Lick. It's totally free. Click on the link below to download your copy and make every lick that you know sound even better.